I'm always getting asked about poly count for games and whether my model has the correct poly count. And to answer that question is not as simple as you might think. So there's three aspects to this. First is what platform is it going to go onto? So what's this model going to be used for? What's its importance in the scene? So is it crucial? Is it a hero model or is it something in the distance? And the important aspect to whether the poly count is correct, whether you've gone too high or too low, is the silhouette and outline. So I'll go through those different aspects and hopefully that will give you some insights into whether you've got the correct poly count for your particular model or not. So first of all, what platform is it going to go onto? If it's PC, that's quite high end usually, and something like PlayStation. Then you've got the other end of the scale, which is mobile or VR. And VR is really strict, so virtual reality, of course. And you need to be really precise with how you use your polygons and really optimize your models as much as possible. Let's look at this particular model from Leah Bonnet. And they've modeled this fantastic piece here. They've got some lovely details. And what I like particularly about this is the way they've really thought about the use of this item. When you're doing your models, make sure that your textures are doing a lot of the work more than the polygons themselves. In this case, the textures are telling a story and they've got lots of dirt and grime within these areas where you would expect there to be dirt and grime. So there's water damage coming down here, probably from boiling pots and that sort of thing. And they've thought carefully about where the damage and wear is, not just slapped on a procedural texture that has edge wear, that sort of thing. So consider that when you're texturing. Don't just put on procedural textures that offer edge wear. Think carefully about where the wear would actually be. So this is a great model. And if we scroll down, we can see the actual polygon count, and it's surprisingly low. We can see it within here. And in fact, the next one's even better because it shows you the LODs. So you get what are called level of detail or LODs. And here's the level 0. So it's 7,000 triangles or just over. And you can see where they've put the detail where it's needed and where it's necessary. So they've optimized as much as possible. There's lots of triangles in here. Where there's big areas, big flat areas, you can see they've just got one quad there for that big flat area, and the same in this area here. So a lot of space there, but it's all flat. You can do the detailed work with the textures. Let's go back to the LODs now. And you can see that right at the very bottom here, this is perhaps where you'd be looking at VR. We've got 190 tries, and we've got just a really low level of detail, but you have to put the detail in certain areas. If it were being used for something like VR, we would still want the bits that stick out. So the silhouette. So we can't flatten this bar that goes across the middle here. They've cleverly flattened the top just by losing the grill and the burners, and they've put them into a single texture. But they can't get rid of certain aspects like this bar, for example, or the knobs here. They need to have some sort of detail in them, some sort of polygon count in order for them to stick out. So if we were to move around the side of this model, we would want to be looking across and we want to see this bar sticking out. Now, just as a challenge to you, if you were to reduce this even further, how could you reduce the poly count of this item even further? Let's say it was going to be fairly far in the distance. Could you reduce this down even further whilst keeping some of that silhouette? Whilst you're thinking about that, if you like this sort of content, then do check out the other videos on this channel, the useful playlists in the description, and if you want to take things further, then check out my detailed courses. All the links are in the description. Okay, so hopefully you realize that if we wanted to reduce this down further, you'd probably change this back item here into just a single box, and we can get rid of some of this poly count in here. Maybe at the front here with the knobs here, because they're not sticking out quite as far as this bar might be. So perhaps you could just use a texture for those going across there, especially the switch here. The bar might be tricky. It depends again how far away you're going to be. So you could even have a texture for this entire shape here, and that would reduce it down maybe to even about 30 triangles, perhaps not quite that low, but you could almost just get away with a box at the back there, box at the top here, and flat textures and really simplify it. But all the time you're thinking, how close am I going to go to this model, or how much detail of the silhouette do I need to see in order to reduce it down to that amount? And these different levels of detail are good examples of maybe this end being mobile and VR, and this end being more high-end PC or PlayStation. So first of all, what's the model being used for? Which platform is it going to go onto? And that depends on the amount of detail you'll have. If it's an asset for an asset pack, you could offer different levels of detail, and then people can choose for their different platform that they're using it for. Then there's perhaps the importance in the scene. Again, we've got different levels of detail here. So you might need a LOD of 0 if you're really close in and you want to see all the detail. If it's far away in the scene, then you go the other end. And all the time you're thinking about what it's going to be used for, you're considering the outline shape, the silhouette. If you're closer in, you'll need more of those pointy out bits, therefore more polygons to show that outline. If you're further away, you can get away with boxing things in more. Let's take a very quick look at characters. This is one from Raoul Garg, I think it is. And they've got a fantastic model here with lots of great details. And if I scroll down, you can see the triangle count of 41,000. So they've done quite well to get a lot of detail in and keep it relatively low. I would say 41,000 sounds good for a AAA game, and that would be a good one for multiplayer games as well. So as a very rough guide, AAA games, or the highest quality graphic games that we have, if it's multiplayer, you can go probably between 50,000 to 80,000, and you can be within that range. So this one's quite good for that. If it's a hero character that's single player, then you might go beyond that, let's say 100,000, maybe even all the way up to 250,000 triangles. But that's a very rough guide, and it would depend a lot on your studio and their constraints. But taking a closer look at the model, you can see how they've strictly kept to the outline of the silhouette. There are some quite big triangles in here where the silhouette isn't going to be broken up. So this area here, for example, maybe this cloth down here. But the smaller triangles, say this wire here, that's quite an awkward one. Little wires like this sticking out can be a real pain, and you have to use quite a lot of topology and polygons for those small details. That's why you won't see them that often in characters. And things like this that stick out the side, these pieces of armor or whatever they might be, they're a bit of a pain again, because they're difficult to break down when it comes to level of details. So you'd need a big sort of patch here to try and show that silhouette, that aspect. But you can also see in this model how the artist has tried to reduce the poly count. There's lots of triangles around the place to optimize. You can see there's more detail in here going around the elbow joint here, but then they reduce the detail as it goes up into the upper arm area here. It's even worth noting that the hands are actually separated out. That looks like the hand is a separate model to the body just here. And indeed, they've done the same for the head. That's quite useful. They've probably got a bit of topology going in here, and it's just easier to deform the hand, and you don't need loads of extra polygons trying to join these meshes together. So it's quite common that you would separate out your models where you can to optimize your models. So hopefully that's given you some guidance into polygon count and when to use high poly, when to use low poly, the platforms, and what they call the pixel to poly ratio. So basically, how important is it in the scene? How close are you going to get to that object? It is well worth looking at sites like ArtStation, where people have broken down their models so you can see the polygon counts that other people have used. But it will obviously depend a lot on the studio, the constraints that they have. They'll know as well how many models will be used at once in a scene, which can make a difference as well. And if you are creating assets for asset packs, then consider level of details, so LODs, and think about high detailed, breaking it right down, but trying to keep as far as possible the silhouette, the outline of your model. Hopefully that helps. If you've got any questions, then do comment below, and I'll see you next time.